Okay, set 1.2 Universal Grammar, Prescriptive and Descriptive Grammar, and Common Misconceptions about Language. So we are going to talk about three concepts in this lecture: Universal Grammar, and the distinction between prescriptive and descriptive grammar, and the third one is the common misconceptions of about language. Okay, universal grammar is also known as nativism and innatism. Okay, the idea of universal grammar, or abbreviated as UG, is that there is a set of underlying rules or properties shared by all human languages that are built-in or innate for human beings. So it's like something inside our gene. If as long as you are a human being, as long as you are such a human, then you have this UG inside your brain. But for other creatures, for example, dogs, birds, cats, anything else, they will not have this. So this is a very important assumption that linguists have. Okay, so let me give you some analogies to explain the ideas of UG. So in a school of thought called principle and parameter, this is also the Chomskyan linguist is also known as this one, principle and parameter. So this is an idea that this is an idea to explain the variety of different human languages. So if we have UG, then why do we have so many different languages? We have English, we have German, we have German, we have French, we have Chinese. Why do we have so many variety? So Chomsky and linguists use this idea to explain the variety of human languages, principles and parameters. The idea is that in our brain there's a little device called language acquisition device. It's like a black box in our brain, and this box will have some switches like this box. So for each language we have different combination of the switches. So for example, English would be with this on, this off, this off, this on. And for Mandarin, it could be all of the switches are turned on. So in this manner, we can have different combinations which will derive different languages. So the idea is that this is the shared property, a box with all the different switches, and the variety of human languages, just the parameter setting of these switches. Okay, so let me give you another analogy. So if you are familiar with biology, you know all the organs in our body are derived from the stem cell. So the stem cell would be very similar to the UG, and some stem cell will become the brain, some stem cell will become lungs, some stem cell will become heart, and on and on. And once you become the organ, you cannot go back to the stem cell. So this means that for L1, for first language acquisition, we have a similar situation. You can learn your first language fairly easily, but if you want to learn a second language, it's a lot harder, right? So it's like if you try to learn a second language, it's kind of similar to the situation of being a brain cell, but you want to have the function of the lung cells as well. Okay. Another analogy is the different operation system in the computer. So you can imagine that our brain, which is the UG, is the hardware, and different languages is a different um, operation system. So English can be Windows or Mac, and Chinese can be Linux or different versions of Linux. But however, the hardware is the same. The only difference is the different operation systems. Okay, so for me, I think it's very similar that being a bilingual is like you are a single computer, but you have multiple operation system installed. So you can dual boot. You can have English mode. You can have German mode. It's like you can dual boot a computer to Windows or Mac, right? Okay. Okay, there are some pieces of evidence supporting the idea of UG. In other words, however, these pieces of evidence are some kind of supportive. Um, let's put it another way: it's like if UG exists, the following the following is true. Okay, so however, when the following is true, we cannot directly prove that UG exists. Okay, but this fact suggests that if we have UG, then these facts can be easily explained. Okay, let's go over the facts together. The first is the poverty of the stimulus. This means that there's not enough exposure of data for children to make the generalization of grammar. However, children can acquire the grammar language easily. In other words, there must be something built in already. So it means that the children do not have enough input to to generate the rules. However, they would not make they can always guess right. It means that they already have something inside their brain, so that they can learn the language easily. So this is the first argument for UG, poverty of stimulus. There's no enough input, but they can produce the correct output. So there is something already inside a human brain. Okay. The second one is convergency. Children are exposed to different input, yet converge on the same grammar. This means that different child are growing up in different family. They have different language input, right? They have different exposure to different sentences, different sounds. However, if we are living in the same language community with different input, all the child can speak the same language as well. So this is the convergency argument. The final one is the uniformity. All children acquire language go through the same stages in the same order. So this is another evidence for UG. So UG can explain these facts fairly easily because UG is just the setting, and no matter what language you have to go through the different stages. Okay. I'm asking this question. Is UG a falsifiable claim or hypothesis? Actually, this is a very interesting question because I think the answer is no. UG is not a falsifiable claim. So, Yeah, maybe be a pious linguist, just believe in this idea. Let's think about this. What can be possibly falsify the existence of UG? I think we have a very similar situation to the alien spaceship crashed in Roswell. If you cannot find UG, the real believer can just say that you do not try hard enough. There is UG, but you just cannot find it. So I don't know. I think probably not. Probably the UG assumption is not a falsifiable claim. However, we can view UG in this manner. It can be viewed as an SM or postulate, which is a promise or starting point of some reasoning for the linguistics enterprise. So we can view it in this manner that all the linguists are trying to find UG. This is the goal of linguistics. Okay.